Narcissistic people do not want to see your point of view. They're not interested in what's fair. They're not interested in what's right. They are not reasonable and they are not rational people, although they will pretend to be. And often, to get away with this, they want to go all out to make out that you're the one that can't see their point of view. You're the one that's being unfair. You're the one that's being irrational. You're the one that's being unreasonable, so that you doubt who you are as a person and they get to continue exploiting you. When dealing with narcissistic people, the best way to deal with them is don't leave them to go and live their life where you go no contact and go and live a much happier life for you. However, for various reasons, this isn't always possible, in which case grey rock often can help. Sometimes, most of the time with a narcissist, they are going to double down on their behaviour. So you need to ride out the storm until they get the hint. Some, you do have to be careful around those who lack empathy. And with others, the grey rock approach isn't the best approach, as you might one day end up in a court situation. So any messages you send, you have to be realistic in the fact that a judge might one day read that message. So grey rock is not for everyone and doesn't suit every situation. It all depends on the situation you're in. I do have the book, which is 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People, if grey rock isn't going to be the best approach for you. When it comes to grey rock, you are going to become as boring and as dull as possible towards the narcissist, because narcissistic people are all about the attention, all about the boasting and showing off. So if you're boring, they're no longer interested. Narcissistic people are very envious of other people. So if they don't know much about you, they haven't got much to be envious of. So they're not going to want to seek to either take it from you or destroy it for you. So when it comes to grey rock, it needs to be the absolute bare minimum communication, face to face or via messages, emails. It needs to be the absolute minimum communication. You need to detach yourself from the situation, no longer take their behaviour personally, recognise the game they are playing, recognise why they are playing the game, and no longer give them the reaction that they are so desperately seeking from you. We can often think that they're wanting control. They are in one aspect wanting control. They're wanting you to become submissive and agree to them and go along with them and do the things that they want you to do, or when you do, that's wrong, so they change the game on you. You cannot win with narcissistic people. However, learning to recognise the game, giving it a name. People are against labels as such, and these are often people that don't want certain behaviours coming to the light, because then it's not quite so easy for them to exploit people. So learning the games, when they come at you and claim that, oh, so-and-so would do it for them, you can recognise that they're triangulating you to try and guilt you into living life on their terms. When they're claiming that nobody else thinks like that, you can recognise that they're trying to get you to doubt yourself. When they're coming at you saying, I never said that, when you know they did, and you've kept a diary to make sure that you've got your reality, you can learn that they're gaslighting you, and there's no point in arguing with them because they do not want to see your point of view. Recognise that that's what they believe, and if they want to believe that, fair enough, on your trot, off your way. Not interested in that game anymore. So learn the games they are playing and learn the name. When they're telling you that it's all your fault, blame shifting. Yes, we then question what we could have done better. However, when it's a repeat cycle of behaviour, when it's a repeat pattern, that's who they are. Not everything is your fault. Yes, you are responsible for you and how you respond to things. And when they've got you in that emotional turmoil, you can react badly. And when you react badly, you take responsibility and then you blame yourself and question if you're the narcissistic one. Narcissistic people don't blame themselves, they blame everybody else. So detach from the situation, remove eye contact, just look over their left ear. So it looks like you're looking at them, but you're not looking at them. Take your emotions out of the situation. It's a learning curve that you've got to practice. So in the beginning, once, what you've got to remember with a narcissist is they are going to play so many games to frustrate the hell out of you, to cause that anger and resentment within you, to get that rise out of you, to get that emotional reaction from you so they can stand back, act all calm and blame everything on you. So you've got to keep a hold of those emotions while you are in face-to-face combat with a narcissist until you are out of the situation. Then you can let those emotions out. If it's via a message, I wouldn't recommend typing what you want to say to them in case you accidentally press send. However, feel free to write a note of what you want to say, to get it all out of your system, to tell them exactly what you think without telling them, and then just respond back with okay if you need to, or I'll see, I'll think about it. What you've got to remember though with a narcissist is when you tell them you'll think about something later down the line, when you say no, they'll turn around and say, but you already agreed. And when you say no, I just said I'll think about it and show them the message, they don't believe that message in their reality. You're now lying to them. You're now trying to gaslight them because they're not getting their own way. They're throwing a major tantrum instead. Do not inform them anything about you. We can fall for that human nature where we just like to explain ourselves, where we just like to say, oh yes, I'm afraid I've got plans here, so I can't do this today. And genuine people think, all right, they've got plans, so they can't do that, fair enough, we'll sort something else out. With a narcissist, they're like, oh, they've got plans without me, they're off having fun, I'm now envious, so I'm going to ruin those plans for them. They all of a sudden start acting really nice to you. So you think, oh, what's going off? And then you realise they've sabotaged you behind your back because you told them information about yourself. And when you're that used to telling somebody everything about yourself because they've conditioned you to run everything by them, it's then very difficult to stop. However, you need to find a way to stop informing them about you. Give them absolutely no information. Be as boring and as dull as possible. What are you up to this weekend? Now, if a narcissist enjoys gardening, do not tell them that you're doing the garden. If a narcissist really detests gardening, tell them you're doing the gardening, because they'll find that really boring. Find the things that they find really boring to talk about when you're with them, because you will notice with a narcissist, when you're discussing things that they can't use against you or that they're not interested in, they switch off. They literally switch off. And when they're not listening to you, stop talking to them. And when you stop talking, they bring the conversation back onto themselves. Let them do the talking. You just do the odd nod of the head and yes and okay, but let them do the majority of the talking so you're not giving them the information. Don't strike up that chit-chat, that two-way conversation. They lull you into that false sense of security when they're playing nice with you. Instead, if you don't want to appear rude for various reasons, when you do get drawn into that chat with them, when they start talking about something, listen. Even if your mind wanders elsewhere, which is what they do to you, look like you're listening to them, play them at their own game. And then when they finish and it looks like you should talk about something that they find really boring so that they switch off. And then when they start talking again, just nod your head, take your mind elsewhere while with them. Don't ask about them. As soon as you ask about them, boy oh boy, are they going to tell you all the woes and the complaints that they have within the world and within you. They're going to be some of the most negative people you could meet, or they're going to be really grandiose about how just amazing their life is and what they're doing and what they're buying or what they've brought or who they've met that they've possibly not even met. So they're then going to boast and try to provoke that jealousy within you. So don't Ask about them. If they want to talk about themselves, recognize that they're either playing the victim or playing the hero, or they're trying to provoke a certain feeling within you that works in their favor. Don't go off topic. Narcissists are great at taking you off topic and getting you to defend and explain yourself to them as they turn around and attack your character when they're losing the conversation. So don't go off topic, bring it back onto the original topic. And if they're not willing to do that, stop communicating with them. They're not interested in listening. Stick to facts. Stick to facts. If it's all possible, facts with evidence. Recognize the game. No longer play. Narcissistic people are some of the most envious people you could ever meet, and they feel entitled to your time and attention. When they're no longer getting your time and attention, they get bored of you and they unfortunately move on to somebody new. If anyone has any thoughts about this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might deal with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have that book out, which is 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People. If you'd like to go and check that out, I'll link that in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.